Disney Magic was the first ship built by Disney Cruise Line, and in this video I'm going to tour the ship deck by deck and show you what it's like.
Now Minnie and Mickey insisted that they be the first to welcome you aboard the beautiful Disney Magic.
The Magic was the first Disney Cruise Line ship launching in 1997. However, due to meticulous maintenance and attention to detail, you wouldn't know the ship's that old. Starting at the front of the ship, on deck 10 is the wide world of sports deck, which is a multi-use area for football, basketball and other activities. And from there we head towards midship on this open deck area, where there is plenty of space for deck chairs to enjoy the sun. This is the first of two funnels, the outside of which has the aptly named Funnel Vision, which is a huge screen showing a variety of Disney movies and shows. Side is the Vibe, which is a club for older kids. The entrance to the Aqueduct slide is on the other side. And at the rear of the second and working funnel is the stairs to Twist and Spout, which is another water slide on board, which is a lot of fun, especially for the children in your group. And on deck 9 you can see the Nephew's Splash Zone, which is also a lot of fun. And we'll say it's very nice in the evening to have a stroll around this open deck. They do let off fireworks from up here, but unfortunately that didn't happen on our sailing. Oh well, maybe next time. At the aft of the ship is Palo, which is the only specialty restaurant on board. It serves incredible North Italian food. Palo is an adult-only dining experience and is open each evening and for brunch on sea days. There is an additional charge and it has a smart casual dress code, although many people do like to dress up. Pre-booking is essential, either online before or once you get on board the ship. We had brunch here and began with a glass of wine, followed by some bread and some oil to dip it in. We then went for one each of the meat and seafood antipasti selections, both of which were amazing and expertly presented. And then it was time for the actual starters. We went for the eggs royale and the cheese and ham frittata. This was then followed by a spicy Italian flatbread, which we actually didn't eat too much of. For our entrees, we had parmesan crusted chicken breast and veal saltimbocca. And I had this very fancy Palo-inspired chocolate dessert. Food, the service and the whole experience were absolutely exceptional, and Palo is highly recommended. At the front of deck 9 is the Senses Spa and Salon, which offers a range of massage and other beauty therapies. And this is the fitness area, which has free weights and cardio equipment, with stunning views out the front of the ship. This is the Quiet Cove pool area, which has a signals bar, a pool and 2 hot tubs. This was my favourite open area of the ship, as it was somewhere nice just to hang out, have a drink and relax. And as you can see, there was plenty of spaces to do that. I just really enjoyed spending time in the pool and in those hot tubs. And while we're talking about adult things, Disney doesn't offer any drinks packages, and the drinks on board are quite expensive. Take advantage of the cocktail of the day and happy hours in bars to pre-order drinks at the cheaper rate. The Cove Cafe is an adult-only coffee bar that serves specialty drinks and a great selection of coffee and teas for an additional fee. There are bakery items available such as muffins, pastries, croissants and cakes, which are all free of charge. The Cove Cafe had a cosy feel which I really enjoyed. This is Goofy's family pool area, which has ample seating and 2 hot tubs. And Pinocchio's Pizzeria is a great place to grab a poolside snack. And next to Pinocchio's is a small bar. And from here you can see just how high the aquadunk is. Is this something that you would try? Please let me know in the comments below. And this is when everyone was gathering for the frozen deck party, freezing the night away, which we did often. This is the Aqualab, which is the kids' pool area. This is the Duck-In Diner, which serves American classics such as hot dogs, hamburgers, and also things like shawarma. Very different. Very tasty too. And at the aft of Deck 9 is the Buffet Cabanas, which is without doubt one of the most popular places on board this ship. And while it's open for breakfast, lunch and dinner, we only have breakfast here. And as you can see, the choices were absolutely amazing. There was a great selection of cereal and of fresh fruit, along with eggs, bacon, sausage, if you fancy yourself a hot breakfast. These eggs Benedict were absolutely great. If you wanted to add something healthy, you could have gone for beans, mushrooms or tomatoes. And if you're British, you just have to go for baked beans at breakfast. Which is just a little heads up for all you North Americans watching. It was so nice to see such a wide variety of food. Also on offer were parfait, cold meat and cheeses. Alongside some sweet treats such as donuts, croissants and pastries. Decks 8 through 6 are the main deck cabins on board. This is our interior cabin on Deck 7. I'll leave a link to the cabin tour here. The main thing to notice here is that there is only one single large bathroom, which is common on most other cruise ships except for Disney, as they like to have a separate room for the loo. We also stayed in an ocean view cabin on Deck 5, and this cabin had the controversial split bathroom. One thing that really shows the age of this ship is this rather bizarre hair drying contraption. Again, I'll leave a link to the full cabin tour here. But please let me know in the comments below what type of bathroom you prefer. Travelling as a couple, I do prefer the single large bathroom. However, if I was going with the kids, I can see the benefits of going for the split. Also on Deck 5 is Disney's Oceaneer Club, which is the activity centre for kids between 3 and 12 years old. Next to that is the It's a Small World Nursery. And lastly, the Buena Vista Theatre. At the aft of Deck 4 is the Animator's Palette Dining Room. And as the name suggests, the theme here is the art of animation and how Disney brings this to life. Once seated, your server gives you a sheet of paper where you draw a character. And this is when I remembered I have zero artistic skills. And while you're doing this, scenes from Disney's classic Beauty and the Beast are being shown on the big screens. For starters, we had the baked potato and cheese soup and the black truffle pasta percettes, which is a Disney Magic iconic dish. And for our entrees, we had the ginger wasabi tenderloin steak and the herb crusted pork chop. Both were absolutely delicious.
Mind you, we got a big surprise coming up soon. Oh.
And now it's time for the characters that we had drawn earlier in the evening to be transformed onto the big screen and share it with other Disney characters. This was just so much fun to watch. Everybody in the restaurant loved it. Unlike other cruise lines, Disney ships have rotational dining, where you eat in one of 3 differently themed restaurants each evening. But as you move from restaurant to restaurant, so do your servers. I found this to be really amazing, as we quickly got to know them and they got to know us too, so they understood our preferences. For dessert, we had a cookies and cream sundae and a chocolate fudge cheesecake. And as it was my birthday, I also received a delicious treat. And everyone gets credited as a guest animator at the end of the evening. And if you're wondering where the casino is, there's no need to wonder anymore, because there's no casinos on any Disney Cruise Line ship. Just along the hallway is the D Lounge, which has a wide variety of entertainment during the day, and then in the evening it becomes a family-style nightclub. You saw a Green Army Men show in there.
Hey, repeat after me. I say your name.
I state your name.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
To uphold the laws of the toy box.
To uphold.
And also here is the art gallery, where you can see some fantastic pictures of the famous Disney characters. Also on deck 4 is the promenade, which is another great spot to go and have a drink, sit down, relax, and watch the world drift by. And you can even head towards the front of the ship and see what I'm assuming is going to be the anchor. But if it's not, please let me know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out. And being out on the promenade at night had a special magical property. Now heading back inside and into the Atrium. This is a great place to catch up with some of those famous Disney characters. And while the other Disney characters are popular, it's the princesses that everyone wants to go and meet. And as you can see, the atrium aboard the Disney Magic is absolutely beautiful. There's just this charm and elegance aboard this ship. And past the atrium is 2 large shops, Whitecaps to the right and Mickey's Main Sale on the left, both selling a wide range of Disney merchandise. I've already made a video showing the merchandise and I'll leave a link to it here. And this is the entrance to the wonderful Walt Disney Theatre. We saw 2 shows in here, Tangled and Disney Dreams, and both were West End Broadway class performances. My tip is to definitely get there early to make sure you secure your own seat. Unfortunately, filming of the performances isn't allowed, but believe me, they're well worth going to. Dropping down to deck 3 forward is after hours, the adult-only area on the ship. This is O'Gill's, which is the ship's Irish-style pub and sports bar. Here serves a selection of beers and cocktails in a traditional wood and leather interior and a green carpet to remind you of the Emerald Isle. And this was a very popular spot during the early evenings. Next door is Keys, which is a stylish Hollywood-style piano bar which stays open until the small hours. And this is one of the places where they offer drinks tastings. It's a great way to try something new and to learn some history about the drinks. We went for the cocktail mixology class and the martini tasting, both of which were a fun and informative way to spend an hour. And just around the corner from there was Sea Treasures, which is another merchandise shop, mainly selling princess dresses on this sailing. Fathoms is a lounge, which during the day has character meet and greets. It's a location for trivia and game shows in the evenings and becomes a club into the late hours. I have to admit, I do enjoy the game shows on ships, but you'll never catch me up on that stage. These people here are far braver than me. And this is the low level of the Atrium and where you aboard the ship. And here you're welcomed by Captain Mickey, who's looking a bit windswept. And there's also guest services here, should you have any queries while on board. And this is Lumiere's, the second of the themed dining rooms. And it reflects the elegance of Disney's classic Beauty and the Beast. The menu is both American and French inspired for dinner, and is also open for lunch on sea days. And if you'd like a table service breakfast on your final day on board, Lumiere's is the place to go. Breakfast here is a rather traditional fare, which suited me. When I went for lunch, I had the calamari, followed by the lentil soup. For my entree, I went for the herb-crusted halibut, which was fantastic. And for dessert was a strawberry mille-feuille. And when I went for dinner, I had the jumbo shrimp for my starter, followed by the Chateaubriand roasted fillet steak. The Gros Marnier soufflé is another iconic Disney magic dish. The Promenade Lounge is a casual bar area for quizzes during the day and live music in the evenings. The third themed dining room is the enchanting Rapunzel's Royal Table. The food here is a mix of American and European cuisine with a strong German flavour. Our meal here started off with the bread basket. This was followed by the potato cream soup and the ravioli triola, which was filled with beef and mushrooms. And for our entrees, we had the Flynn Rider platter, which features pork loin, pork belly and bockwurst, and the prime rib of beef. And I also tried the tangled pasta with scallops, with apple strudel for the dessert. However, what separated this restaurant from the other two was this amazing Tangled live-action show, where you get to see Flynn Rider, the Snuggly Duckling Thugs, and of course Rapunzel herself, with lots of audience participation. I think that this is my favourite of the three restaurants. If you've been on board, which was your favourite?
Well, only the best for you, Blondie.
Oh, I hope you all enjoyed the Lantern Festival as much as I did.
There's just more cabins on deck 2, and on deck 1 is the medical centre. This is the place you don't want to end up, unlike me, which is why we went on the Disney Magic for a second time. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel. Many thanks.